No.
Actually, bought that poster of, they have that painting there on Yorktown. I forget who did it, but it's the old Enterprise CV6 when it was getting hit. It has the explosion there.
Good. Let's call the meeting to order. If everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are thankful for this special community, for the time we share together, and the bounty of our nation. We are thankful for the commitment of our people who volunteer their time and talents to make our community a better place to live, work, and raise a family. We know that we alone cannot meet the challenges or provide sufficient inspiration without community involvement and the dedication of all concerned to the greater good of the city and all who reside in it. We are thankful for this time and for the place that is Frostburg. Amen.
Amen. You all be seated.
Commissioner Donnie Carter,
Here.
Commissioner Nina Forsythe,
Here.
Commissioner Kevin Grove,
Here.
Commissioner Adam Ritchie,
Here.
and Mayor Robert Flanagan.
Here. All right, start out with the motion to approve the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda.
Second. Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
And also approval of the minutes from our past meetings.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Second. Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Also, we need a motion second to approve our executive session.
Make a motion to approve the executive session minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Special presentations and requests, nothing there. So, again, motion second to approve the monthly reports of our various city departments.
I make a motion, we approve the monthly reports for the different departments.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
And you're up, public hearings.
I'll give a quick synopsis of the city's CSO combined sewer overflow projects. We have 2 ongoing and a third in the works. The 2 that are ongoing are Phase 9B and 9C, both centered around Frostburg State University. 9B is coming very quickly to a close. We're doing cosmetic things now and some final water line tie-ins, things like that. That will be done by the fall, end of summer, fall timeline. And then Phase 9C is underway. That's along Center Street, right next to FSU. And that's water lines, sewer line, and storm lines coming along well, but we don't expect that project to wrap up until the spring after this year's winter shutdown. But both projects are moving well. We're happy with the progress, no setbacks, even with material delays. And then finally, Phase 10A is in design, pretty much coming to the close on that design-wise. Wrapping up some funding shortfalls, and then we're hoping to have that ready to bid. That doesn't necessarily mean we will bid it out, but to be ready to bid here by the beginning of fall. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Hey, and I have one for you, up at Bell Elementary School.
Yes.
Are we about done
Yes.
with the,
Yep. And we're gonna the stuff that we won't have done before school starts, we'll coordinate so as to not interfere with the buses.
okay.
Everybody else good? All right, Hayden, thank you. Old business, we don't have any, so we'll move right to new business. Resolution 2022-33.
Thanks, Mayor. As discussed in your work session, this resolution would authorize staff to submit an application to the Law Enforcement Officers Pension System with the state of Maryland and further authorize the Maryland State Retirement System actuary to perform a preliminary actuarial valuation so that you have a better idea of costs, both a buy-in cost and annual cost to move the police officers from the current employees pension system to the LEOPS pension system. The actuarial valuation, regardless of if you choose to participate or not, is estimated to cost somewhere between $5,000 and $6,700. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'd ask for a resolution to approve a motion to approve resolution 2022-33.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-33.
That's actually a good question. You're too
Do you-
fast on the draw. So the application does not obligate us in any way?
There would be another vote from the mayor and council to actually participate, but the application does need to be submitted prior to September 1 for consideration in next fiscal year participation. But there would have to be a formal resolution passed by the mayor and council to participate in the LEOPS pension system, as well as a vote of city employees that would be moving pension systems.
Okay. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any public comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next, as you know, for the American Rescue Plan Act, any projects or approvals that staff propose funding with those funds, we review with you in work session, but then we also ask for a formal approval of those projects for documentation to keep the Treasury happy. So Resolution 2022-34 approves the purchase of a used 2020 Freightliner garbage truck and the complete, which will have a separate resolution as well to actually purchase shortly. But this is just authorizing the ARPA funds for that. But then also a complete refinishing of the gymnasium floor in the Armory, not to exceed $20,000. If there's any questions, again, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'd ask for a motion in a second to approve Resolution 2022-34.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2022-34.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll go on to the next one. Resolution 2022-35, authorize the purchase of a 2020 used Freightliner garbage truck from Maryland Industrial Trucks for $190,000. It's a 25-yard King Cobra garbage unit sitting on top of a Freightliner chassis. We've been going back and forth looking for a new truck. We're in desperate need of one given our current situation with our garbage trucks. This one came in at the right price. We spent a lot of time negotiating for it. It fits all of our needs. And if there are any questions about it, I'd be happy to answer them about the truck specifically. But I would ask for a motion in a second on Resolution 2022-35.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2022-35.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any public comment?
It's not venomous, right? That can
Not if you leave
Can't
the garbage
really
in there
have
long enough.
All in favor?
Aye.
On to the next one.
Go ahead.
Resolution 2022-36, approve a new job title in the Street Department of Foreman with no net increase in number of employees. So we've been looking for the past couple months at taking one of our lower level positions, for lack of better phrasing, and turning it into a foreman position. That way we have 3 people in positions of leadership that we can cycle during different shifts of the day, especially when the snow starts to fall. That way we always have someone in a position of leadership at the city at all times. But we wouldn't hire any new employees, just promote one. So I would ask for a motion in a second of Resolution 2022-36. And if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-36.
A second. Moved and seconded. Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Resolution 2022-37. Approve a contract for the implementation of a planned timber sale for the Piney Reservoir watershed as identified in the Forest Stewardship Plan and a continued partnership with Maryland DNR Forest Service. So basically, Maryland DNR helps us implement our stewardship and watershed control plan. That will not change. DNR will still oversee that, help us manage it, and still have their hands in all of that. They just suggested to us that it would be wise to reach out and subcontract some foresters to help us with our timber bids. So if there are any questions, I can elaborate to my heart's content, but I would ask for a motion in a second to resolution 2022-37.
Excuse me. I move we approve resolution 2022-37.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next resolution is in regard to 32 West Mechanic Street and the acquisition of that. A couple months ago, you authorized the acquisition of 28 and 30 West Mechanic Streets for those properties to eventually be raised in the construction of a municipal parking lot. This is the next property that you also sought to make a bigger parking lot that would serve downtown, city staff, churches, city place, etc. The owners of 32 West Mechanic Street were agreeable to the agreed upon price of $200,000 based on the appraisal, with the trade of the lot next to their other property just below 42 West Mechanic Street. So they have signed the contract, and it also provides the city the provision to do the Phase 2 environmental site assessment that will be necessary just as part of the city's due diligence in obtaining that specific property. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'd ask for a motion and a second to approve Resolution 22-38.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-38.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any public comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
The next one is approving a short-term lease with Borden Mining Company for the hayfield that they own that is used for parking by the Cougar football team families. It's a short-term lease as Borden seeks to not continue that use of their property, but this will at least give us the remainder of this year to find alternative options. This lease is for $1,000 from now until January 1st. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'd ask for a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2022-39.
Do you know if they were open to extending the lease if the chestnut tree planting doesn't go ahead?
Yes, I think so. They would really like the city to find property elsewhere for
Okay.
parking, but I don't think it's a never ever no
Okay.
either. It's a soft no,
Yeah.
is how I'm interpreting our
So they
communications.
prefer we find.
Yes.
Okay.
And Borden Mining has always been a good partner to the city. Glendenning is what Glendenning is because of Borden Mining Company selling property to the city. And they definitely are conservation focused, and I understand wanting to have that conservation legacy with this chestnut tree
Yeah,
planting, and it just happens that the identified spot conflicts with
Football.
football.
Parking.
So,
Trees or football? You can't have both.
many of us, Parks and Rec, Hayden, have talked about good faith efforts at looking at other options.
Sure.
So,
Okay. Well, I move we approve resolution 2022-39.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any public comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
OJ is not able to be with us tonight, so I'll handle this one. As you know, you appoint members to your various boards and commissions. And on the Planning Commission, Mr. Jeff Snyder's term is expiring. He was agreeable to serving another 5-year term, and staff recommend that he serve another term. So if you don't have any questions or concerns with Mr. Jeff Snyder, we'd recommend he's reappointed to another 5-year term to expire in August 2027 with Resolution 2022-40.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-40.
Second.
Moved and seconded twice. Jeff, thank you for your service. Appreciate you coming this evening. All in favor?
Aye.
Jeff, you do a wonderful job. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. 5 years seems like a long time.
Breezing right through.
I know, that's the problem.
Yeah, I've been on the Frostburg Housing Authority for 25 years.
Well, I've been on this since 12, and it's like, well, that's a long time.
No, nothing. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks.
Good evening. Next, I present for your consideration Resolution 2022-41. This resolution would amend the city's personnel manual to include the health insurance opt-out payment policy. This benefit was discussed and approved by the mayor and council at a previous meeting. However, we need to amend the personnel policy to specifically include this language of an opt-out policy. The policy was modeled after that of another municipality. So I would ask for your consideration of Resolution 2022-41 to amend the personnel policy.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-41.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any public comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Moving right along. Chief? 2 minutes tonight, Chief.
And get
Yes,
your,
sir.
get your stopwatch out.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Thank you. I have the monthly report for the Police Department for the month of July 2022. We had 720 incidents compared to 568 the year before. As you can see, most of our work is the public service component. That's always the highest numbers, things like well-being checks, requests for a police officer, quelling disturbances of various types, and then we have our arrests, as you saw earlier, 8 of those during the month of July, and 5 motor vehicle crashes, 155 traffic stops. So always doing a diverse array of activities, as you know. We focus a lot on the positive community engagement, and we have a lot of fun doing it, build good relationships with the community and the bridge between the police department, the city, and our community members. So one of those was the Meshack Cross Village Block Party, Commissioner Grove, and some of our officers were just there the other day, and Friday afternoon, that was a really nice time, something nice that Ashley and Charity have done to really just kind of have some fun activities down there, so that was great. Before that, we had a National Night Out down at the Frostburg Pool and Recreational Complex. That was really cool. They used to do it at their Country Club Mall. They moved to Bel Air. This year they did it in Frostburg, so this was the one with us, the Sheriff's Office, the State Police, and a number of those organizations. They brought the helicopter in, so we really had the perfect venue for it with the field, and appreciate Commissioner Forsyth and Brian allowing us to do a free swim at the pool, so that was absolutely awesome. And Drew, Brian thought there were about 300 kids or so it's a nice
Good
event.
turnout, yeah.
Hopefully we'll see that continue to grow. They may rotate the location in the future, but that one was perfect. It may just be between there and somewhere else, but love to see it back. It went great. We do always have our more traditional policing activities. We had a couple of notable incidents in July. On July 23rd, we had an individual shot on the leg on Taylor Street. The individuals were known to each other, so it wasn't a random act, but that the follow-up investigation is being conducted by C3I. We had an individual with an axe yelling and going after people, as you know about, so that was resolved. We emergency petitioned him and disarmed him all through verbal communication, so that couldn't have gone any better given the circumstances. And there are always things going on. You know, a week or two later, we had a fist fight between 2 adult brothers, and we had to arrest one of them. So there's always the classic stuff. I focus a lot on the positive, but I do want you to know we're out there doing that day to day as well. Those are things that you would normally see. You're always going to have crime and deviance in any population of people. It's nothing out of the ordinary. We don't want to have any of it, but it does happen, and we're dealing with that too. So doing a little bit of everything, and always appreciate the opportunity to serve you and our community. And that would conclude my report unless you have any questions.
I commend you and the department for doing your best to resolve incidents, you know, without escalating stuff. So yeah,
Thank
good job.
you so much. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it.
Mayor. So,
Are you gonna commend report clerk?
Yes. Officer Cook on the skunk incident.
Oh, yes, yes. The skunk that didn't get away.
Yes. And it turned out to be, it did have rabies.
Oh,
so,
it did?
That's my
yeah,
understanding as
yeah.
well. Yeah, so Corporal Cook and Sergeant Beam went over at the Commissioner Ritchie and his family had found a skunk that was kind of acting strangely, going after people. They had to dispatch it. It turned out it did have rabies, so.
Good teamwork.
Took it out.
Did a wonderful job.
Yes.
Nice to get you. Open public comment. Any citizens wishing to make comment to the mayor and council, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the public record, please. All right, since no one's here for that, just want to remind everybody that we're due back here for an ARPA work session next Thursday at 3 p.m. You're all welcome to join us. It's exciting, it's enlightening, it's intriguing.
It is exciting.
It is, it is. Anybody have anything for the good of the order? If not, everyone have a wonderful weekend. Jeff, thanks again.
Yeah.
You said 3 for
So much better than, we don't have any money, what are we gonna cut?
You're right, yeah.
Can I give these to you for signature tonight so I can get some of these
Yes.
contracts to people tomorrow? Thank
So
you.
we're out here in 29, we'll be out of here in 25, that's all. Watch me go.
Just give you this one, just so you know who I am. Everybody knows who I am.
Everybody knows.
Yes.
I'm listening, and then I'll be back to talk later on. Mayor?
Thank you, sir.
You're quite welcome. There you go. Either you like this one. We ordered a Volkswagen ID4, the all-wheel drive version, in May of last year. So it's 15 months. It's now in Baltimore. It's now in Baltimore, and they're reprogramming it so they can release it into the U.S. So maybe in another couple of weeks we've had our charging stations all activated, we're ready to go, but
Yeah, oh, man.
it takes forever.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in our police department last week. We got our electric police car.
Did you get one?
Oh, yeah.
Is that little one running around
The
town?
Bolt, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a Bolt.
Is it working out?
Yeah, it really is. The chief drives it most of the time.
You should
back
talk to
there.
him, he loves it, yeah, he loves it.
But it's,
They're
I mean,
fast.
they're really fast. Not much in the way of being able to transport a lot of prisoners.
Well, yeah.
But it.
But around here,
but
we don't have
We
time.
use it for our air officer mainly when schools.
What do you want me here, Liz?
Because it's a great conversation piece for the kids. They all want to come out and look at it.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Well, it's crazy because, we, at the lodge and the cafe.
That's okay, that's okay. That's just different than,
100%
that's
of
all
our
right.
customers are electric or hybrids. And so now we're putting more stations in,
great,
just
yeah.
to keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
They get to fight over these charging stations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that because, there is more money going into people buying, not only new, but also used now with the bill. So,
Your work sessions are open to the public?
yes. We usually don't allow the public to, yeah.
You can observe
But
and see what's going on.
you bet, yeah, and that's actually where you find out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's what